Yo, chosen one, warning. When you start to come up and you start to build real momentum, like I mean real momentum, meaning like you're actually not scared to speak your truth anymore. You're starting to like low-key get clout. You're starting to get money. You're starting to become unbeatable and unfuckwithable. There may be matrix attempts and attacks of certain people trying to come into your life and get close to you, and these people will not be good. These will be the kind of people that they don't outright disrespect you in a way that you will automatically cast them away off rip. These are the kind of friends that come in acting like a friend, and they slowly start to test your boundaries. They'll say something that kinda, is disrespectful, but you let it slide because you're friends, and it just momentums into a spiral downfall. So be careful. In my life, I went through that around 8th grade, and I had like a little low-key prankster type of energy come into my field doing that. And just over the course of us hanging out so much, I started to let certain things slide, and I didn't realize the damage that was causing me with my overall confidence. Before I knew it, I was dealing with anxiety, depression. I wasn't able to manifest good things as easily. I wasn't as magnetized because I was basically letting them walk over my boundaries, and so that was transcribing into every other aspect of my life. And so I had that happen once. I'm not gonna let it happen again. I'm now 22, so it's like I was around 14 when it happened. Like I was starting to like really build a lot of momentum. I understood how manifestation worked. I had a good relationship with the universe. Like I literally used to talk to the universe in the same way people pray every night. And everything was going good. And then, like I said, the Matrix sent in that individual, and I let my guard down, and it had consequences. So, went through a bunch of stuff, went through a lot of other stuff, a lot of other trials and tribulations. And this person was by no means the only one. There were others, and there were other circumstances as well, of course. Like if you're a chosen one starseed, you know how complicated this gets, with all the timeline manipulation and stuff. That was my first big hit though. And then I had another big hit with a spiritual teacher of mine, an old teacher of mine, when I was like 20. And that kind of got me down for a while. But yeah, I'm 22 years old now, back on it. I ain't letting that happen again. So in other words, the lesson of this is stay firm in your boundaries, and don't let certain people that disrespect your boundaries into your life just for any reason. My reason was because they lived around me, so it was just something to do. Like I would hang out with them for something to do after school, to not be bored, you know what I'm saying? And I should have honored myself more. And there were times where I would try to honor myself, and it was just crazy, like looking back on some of the things that I let slide. But it's like, what are you gonna do? Especially when you're younger. And so if you're seeing this and you're like a younger person that's in high school still, or maybe even middle school, especially be careful, because it's harder to set those boundaries during those times of your life because you want to be included, you want to be cool, you want to do all these things. But I promise you, if you stay firm and you honor your alone time, you're gonna end up being all those things anyway, and you're gonna end up, you won't have any regrets. So anyways, Much love. Hope this helps. Peace out.